Welcome back, guys. This is part 4, hopefully the last part. We're not going to go into mental detail with this video just because the last one dragged on a bit, but we got the axle back from Powder Coaters and look at that. How cool does that look? I'm so glad that they did it again. The first time they did it, it was a bit light. I don't think they put enough red on, but the finish is really good. I'm well chuffed with that. And they've done the prop shaft loops and everything, so I'll show you them. There. In other news, the tyres are arrived from Cirque. Big thanks to Cirque for them. So we're back on the bigger tyre now, on the 12-inch tyre. And then, yeah, we've obviously got all the windows in. I've got to peel off the film, but kind of putting them, well, don't have to do it yet, but it might be quite satisfying for you guys. And yeah, so we're going to put this back together. Now the only problem with having this powder coated is it needs to be shot blasted. Well, the problem with shot blast is it gets absolutely everywhere. So I'm going to spend a bit of time cleaning all that out, clean all the face off, get the sealer on there, get the diff in, and then get the shafts in and get everything right. Everything's all ready. Going to clean everything up, like the caliper mounts and shock mounts and everything. Look through photos and drawings of the car to where the 4-link settings are. Then we'll mark that on the casing, and then that's ready to go in. We're also going to paint the back of the chassis because I haven't done that bit yet. So that'll probably be the first job before I get into this, so get that done and get it dry in. So we've got a bit of time to sort this out and go from there. I haven't been on it all week, so this is another Saturday. Work has been taken over. Basically, we've been really busy getting all this kind of somewhere near. And the lad who works for me, Mike, he's been doing a wicked job. And I've also been designing all shock mounts and stuff, because we're putting my godfather's car on coilovers now. So we're getting this all somewhere near buttoned up. But I won't bore you with any more of that. Let's get back into it.
Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.
Right, well, we got the axle 90% together now. Just waiting for some more oil. I didn't quite have enough, so it's basically there now. All the new gasket, the diff, give everything a bit of a wipe over. So that's ready. The chassis has also been blown in, just waiting for that to dry. But we're making good progress. So that's the one job we're going to do, and then as soon as the axle's in and in the correct place again, we will start getting the tyres on the wheels, and we can put them in as well. Also got to put obviously the prop shaft on, so that's the next job. And once we've got the prop shaft on, we can start throwing gearbox oil in it. And then we'll get the battery on charge. I'm not going to start it up just yet, but it will be soon back running. So yeah, so let's wait for some oil. We're waiting for stuff to dry, and we're cracking on. We have Russ in the house, if anybody remembers him from a few episodes ago.
Right bad.
Alright, he's wrecking the place, but he's trying to behave himself as well, which it never happens, but...
Trying to find a big pipe.
Big pipe? Yeah, well, you're in the wrong place, aren't you?
Absolutely.
So everywhere's a big pipe. Let's get it back. Yeah, it should be. Yeah. Yeah, we got it. Gotta be quick sometimes. Get them on the beads and then we'll put the valve in and then start winding in the gripper screw. It's on now. Put them up to 20 psi and then we'll put these screws in. They're like a tech screw, just grip the tyre, stop the tyre from twisting on the wheel, because we all can't afford bead locks. I haven't really got enough power for bead locks anyway.
Artlist.io.
Right, so next job. One thing is a bit of a pet hate for me is having the Hoosier written on the tyres. So I'll get some thinners, an old rag, and we get it off basically. Get it off! Get it off! Takes a bit of getting off. Whatever paint they use, it lasts a while, so you have to really go at it a bit. I leave it on the inside, but yeah, I just don't like it on the outside. Just something that bugs me. Makes the car look a bit street car, I suppose, as well. Obviously it ain't yet, but it'll get there. see it comes off quite easy. Just gets in the corners of the lettering, which where it's embossed into the tyre, it's a bit tricky to get out. So yeah, it definitely looks better when it's off. We'll get some tyre shine on after to make them look fresh again, because the thinners dulls it off quite a lot. Well, that's the one side. Now the other side off. So yeah, what I mean, looks better in my opinion than that, you know. A little bit less Hot Wheelsy, I suppose. But yeah, big fat tyres are on. Well, I'm so happy with how the wheels look. They look so good, even with the tyres on now. So yeah, right, let's keep going. See, you can't tell me that doesn't look better. Got the old tyre shine on there just to be an extra tart. So they're all ready. I'm gonna have to let all the air out to get them in the car. That's another mission. The axle didn't turn up from the motor factors, so we're gonna throw this in because it ain't gonna let it slow up, and then we can start thinking about making a tunnel, because I've got to make a new tunnel to go over here, and I'm gonna make new side panels, just make my life a bit easier. So let's get the axle in. Right, as you can see, all the axles in now, shocks on, anti-roll bar, link. I'm gonna undo this again in a minute because I want to drop it down so the axle swings side to side. Now, if you've never seen this fiasco before, this will make you laugh. So this is how I have to get my tyres off onto the Corolla. So I got Mr. Henry. I got a bit of fuel pipe and a bit of masking tape. Obviously got to let the air out of the tyre, and then I've got to basically vacuum the yeah, sorry about that, the battery died, but I vacuumed up the tyre, look. So yeah, it's quite surprising how much these tyres collapse up. So we're going to try and get that in there now. I'm going to undo the track locator first, give a bit of axle, a bit of side to side movement, and you'll see how it goes in. Get the old vacuum on. Vacuum, Hoover, vacuum, got all American on you. Hopefully, that'll make it, well, that might be better. It's been a while since I put the big tyres on, so I can't remember the process. Better. Right, let's see if that works first. Poor old Henry's struggling a bit. Not really designed for that sort of job. see if this works. Oh, that might be a job. Yeah, that's the boy. Right, we got that one on then. So we let the valve cap, and it will suck in some air now. Right, before we get too excited, we'll make sure we put the valves in the right place, because my crewman will be annoyed with me. So that's another thing you have to think about when you're putting the shafts and everything in. You put the shafts in exactly the same either side as well when you put the axle back in. So we've got to go that way up. Get myself in the right position. The old pro mod position. Wheel on. So if we can get this out of the way. Come on. There's always a little bit in there. Yeah! Winner, winner. Alright, get some air in this puppy. Blow them big balloons up. I always system at 20 to start with at the start of the season, and then they like, you know, big pressure, and then when we get to the racing we run them at, what do we run them at, 9.5? I think we run them at 9.5. Well, that's confirmed, it's been a while. Right, so we've got 20 in there now. Give the wheels a wipe over after. Make sure that's back up at 20. That's wicked. And we'll get the other side sorted. We get the wheel nuts on. Right, well, all on now. That's all in. I've got all the prop and the tunnel and everything in, just so you know as well. So we're on to these 3 panels now. So this is one of them, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually design the tunnel slightly different. So obviously they went either side of the car. They were really good, but I made a bit of a boo-boo on the design here a little bit. So the tunnel had to go over this and be clipped in here. And the problem with that is, once the seats are in, you can't get to these clips. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remake these, so this bends actually slightly further this way, both sides, and then the tunnel is going to slide in between and be held in by the gear lever. So that's my plan. I think that'll be enough to hold it in. The gear lever slots on top of both of the prop shaft loops, and that's going to hold it in. It can't come out. So it makes my life easier. These are still got to be very similar, so I'm going to copy pretty much exactly the same, but I'm going to put the bead roll holes in a different place because obviously these slots and stuff. So we're going to get them exactly right, and then we can put these 3 Zeus's in so they can go back in, but we'll lose these inside ones completely. So that's the plan. So yeah, you're going to see a bit of fabrication on the Corolla again, and then we can start making a new tunnel. So this is the tunnel. You can see where it was fixed, and you know, it looked the part and everything, but it's got a bit damaged since then. And I want to make the bead roll go around the gear lever. So I'm going to flatten this out, take all the Zeus's out, flatten it out completely, make a new one, new pattern. So because you can't see these, and you know, I'd rather try and keep it so you can see everything. Just me being a bit OCD, and I want to get it right. And I think with this bit here, I flared it out. I might do that again. We'll see. Otherwise, I might just weld a piece onto there and then tidy it up after. Right, so we've used that as a template onto here. We've marked the gear lever holes and we've marked out where it needs to be trimmed up at the back. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make a template of the bead roll. So I'll do a cut out of the bead roll with some template material, and I'll also cut that section out as well. And then that'll give us exactly where our markings will be for the bead roll on this panel. And then we can start bending it where we want it. Well, we've got to do the bead roll into this panel first, and then we can start bending it over a bit of, well, I'm actually going to use a gas bottle. That's the only thing that's kind of the similar size. Last time, I didn't have anything to bend it round, so we actually used 4 rolls of blue roll, and we put a piece of tube through it and 2 axle stands and actually bent it around that. It works. Now, sometimes if you ain't got the tools, you've got to do with what you've got to make do with what you've got. So sometimes you've got to think outside the box. So this time we're going to use an old MIG gas bottle that I've got to bend it round, and we'll centralise it. We'll draw a line directly down the middle. So this is all lined up perfectly, and then we'll literally force it round. So anyway, we'll get to that in a sec. Let's get some bead roll patterns going. Right, so we did the bead roll pattern off the panel. So we put that in here. I've got to connect basically the dots basically here. But we've got that kind of traced out. So you can see what I've done is I cut the inside of that out so it works out quite well, and then kind of lined it up with the gear lever mounts and where the panel is on the gear lever. It'll all kind of make sense when it goes in. So yeah, it's time to bead roll this now, and then we can get the holes drilled out and try it. We've got to bend it over obviously the bit of welding bottle, which we know about, and see if it fits. Once we've got the shape somewhere near, I've done it a little bit bigger, so we've got a bit of fettling. We'll get it really nice. We can yeah, get it all in the car and looking smart. And then that's one panel ticked off the list, ready for the powder coaters, and then I can start the other panel.
Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io.
Right, so I've just started to, I didn't video too much of it, but yeah, I've managed to get a bit of shape into that tunnel now, and it's kind of looking pretty nifty. So let's get all this stripped apart and make another day of progress.
Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined.
Right, so I flattened out this piece. I tried it in the car, as you've seen. This bend is really close to actually where it should be, but I'm going to bring it back about 2 mil. I've also worked out I can get these holes a bit nicer to go over the seat mounts and this seat mount as well. So I've done some markings on it to where I can chop it, make it right. The bead roll in the floor that's here finishes here. So I'm gonna have a bead roll there and have a bead roll there, so that ties in with the car a bit more. And I think I might. These are got to be in the same place, these Zeus's, but I don't know whether to go around it again, or I might go around it, but just go around it a bit further away because it was quite close. So I mean, it never hurts to do something twice. 2 or 3 times. I've got a bend in there as well, so it's sat against the tube and the chassis nice. So let's get cracking. We'll make a new one of them.
Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined.
Right, so that's that panel kind of made up. So let's go and try it in the car for the first time. I did a bit of shaping around the bead roll. We're gonna have to dress that out with the DA just to make sure it's 100%. So let's see if this fits. In theory, should do. We had to stay there. Right, so gotta go under that. Oh, it looks good so far. It's a bit tight. Oh no. Needs a bit of trimming at the back, by the looks of it. The Zeus's are in the right place. And looks like I'm going to have to take some off here for the bead roll. But yeah, I think I'm going to have to do that bend again down here, which will put a bit of strength in the panel on this end as well. Right, so we've done them little jobs. Oh yes, it's under that bead roll. Oh, that's lovely. I'm well chuffed with that. So yeah, just got to put the Zeus's in there, and then that's a new panel made. So yeah, it looks pretty good. It looks nice with a bead roll as well. I mean, I could take this down a bit more, but probably best not to really. Gives it nice, when the seats are in, gives it a bit of a nice, so you can locate the tunnel in there when the seats are in. Yeah, chuffed for that. So we get the Zeus's in, we'll get into the panel. The other thing is, obviously, I've done the bead roll so it matches the floor now, and it carries kind of that line into there as well, which is good. So yeah, chuffed with that.
Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined.
that's the second panel somewhere near. Obviously, got to do a bit of dressing after, but let's go and see if that works. I've done a lot of markings off the old one, so I'm hoping the markings will be working our favour for this one. Go on. Is it under the bead roll as well? Oh, it's pretty close. It's pretty close. I think that fold needs like trimming out there, but that ain't bad, is it? Might need a tiny bit more off here. We need that bit out, which we know. And then I think we're good to go. It's gonna look pretty. So yeah, we'll do a bit of refining. We'll put both in. Well, we'll DA them both in and get them somewhere near. And then this might want a bit more fold on it, just so it helps it get in. That might be, yeah, so I might need to tiny fold that more. That's all the panels. Well, I say all the panels, that is them 2 panels cleaned up and they are all in. So the next plan is I've cleaned up the tunnel as well, and I'm hoping, and I've got to pray a little bit, but I'm hoping we can get that in. Might have to go on the piss a bit. So that will go in like that, lift that bit of wiring up. So far so good. Whoa. Right, that's that in. And then the only thing holding this down will be the gear lever. Which slots onto there. So I'll put them clip in there. And the front clip in. Oh, he's already down. And that's real, absolutely perfect. So yeah, that worked out quite well. Got to take a little bit out for the Zeus, for the tunnels to join into there, but that worked out really well. So yeah, super chuffed and happy with that. Yeah, that's good. So yeah, so that's going to probably end it for this episode. We are basically last stages, so them panels are going to go to powder coating tomorrow. And then it'll be, we've got to fill up the gearbox oil, fill up the diff, and the next video will be hit starting up. But hopefully we'll get Lee's car into that video as well, of his first fire up of the year, with his engine refresh. I've been helping him a bit, so there might be a few clips of that. And yeah, and then once this is out of the way, B36, getting E36 in the air and firing that on. So thanks very much for watching. Stay tuned for more content, and make sure you hit the merch store. We appreciate you following, supporting, and we'll see you in the next one.